Hello everyone, Nubkeks here, and welcome to Heroes of the Storm, and welcome to Hero League. This is Season 2, and this is my first placement game. What I'm going to be doing is going through this draft with you, and then going through the game, and we're going to talk about it, see how things go, and what's happening. Hopefully it should be a pretty helpful little series for you guys. Just the same as we did before last season, I'll probably bring you every placement game, and I'm not sure, I don't think I'll bring you every game after that. Just maybe I'll record like 3 on a day or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. Any feedback as to how many of these ranked games you'd like to see would be good. And then I think it'll be helpful going alongside the A to Z series we're doing at the moment. Because with that series we get to play every single hero and you get to hear a bit about them. Whereas obviously playing in Hero League, we're going to be playing some heroes kind of repeatedly. So there you go. Anyway, into this game. There's Savannah's first band. Makes sense for Battlefield of Eternity. She makes the immortal push is kind of crazy. I was kind of curious about this guy. He's saying no one cares about placements anyway. Just get placed into pleb 3, which means diamond 3. So it's kind of like, what were you placed at if that's the case? So he was master last season. I was kind of curious when you'd be calling it pleb 3. And then we saw saying after losing 5 versus 4 when Johanna decided AFK boss, I'm done. So he's obviously not too happy with his last few games. This dude looks like he's a little bit on tilt, so that's always a bit worrying to go into. This was obviously day 1 of the new patch and the new season, and he's already tilted. That's a bit worrying, but oh well. We ban Lunara. Also makes sense. Very powerful. There's a lot of siege damage when she specs into it, level 7. Good poke as well, and she can be pretty powerful on this map for sure, defending and pushing in aggressively. So they picked up Zagara as first pick. Pretty strong first pick. She does a lot of damage. She can push well as well. And yeah, there you go. We're looking at Thrall here. And he also hovers Li Ming. I was kind of thinking Thrall and Li Ming would be the ideal things to pick here together. In fact, looks like this guy's going to hover Li Ming as well. And I believe they do. Yep, they do. They lock in Thrall and Li Ming together. So that's fantastic. 3 really nice picks to start this off. Make that 4 with Greymane as well. I don't think Greymane is that strong at the moment, but this is probably his best map. He does a lot of damage to the Immortal. He also has got pretty good poke if you're fighting around the Immortal in human form. So yeah, it's a pretty solid pick overall. I like all of our picks so far. I mean, Thrall is perhaps not at his best on this map, but he's still nice for, you know, doing a bit of poke if you are fighting around there. He's nice in the solo lane. And he's just a great hero all around, so I was pretty happy to have the Thrall. He's got a Master Skin too, so that's pretty good. And then Li Ming, obviously, really nice for getting damage down on the Immortal, and once again, poking in whenever you're trying to fight over that. It's very important to have good poke and also be able to race the Immortal, so there you go. Right there, they locked in Uther as well. That's a solid support, and combos very nicely with Greymane. If you make a strong team fight, on top of that, he's going to be able to dive in, be divine shielded, and just be able to do a lot of damage. I'm hovering ETC here, so we obviously see that we're hovering Oriel down in our last pick. Got Sergeant Hammer rounding out our damage dealers. I'm hovering the ETC. Our teammate, team captain, bans Muradin. I think that's a mistake because as you see, the enemy team is just going to ban ETC. I think it's a pretty obvious one to ban out. I probably would have liked to pick up Muradin instead. So he's actually just banned me out of a hero instead of anything else, but it's not too bad. I'm going to pick up Tyrael. Should be pretty nice. Because, well, at least the enemy team a little bit stuck for warriors, actually. They probably should go for a Nubkeks, who'd be quite strong against Li Ming and have a bit of dive and stuff. But anyway, this guy who's tilted starts raging at me then, which I thought was very funny. He's saying, like, Tyrael solo hero, solo warrior with 0 dives. Like, oh well. He says more stuff as well. Anyway, the enemy team lock in. So I'm just going to say but I don't even care. I'm just going to troll this guy because he's being an asshole. But yeah, they lock in Medivh, which is pretty bad, and Leoric. So I was kind of just laughing at that point because the enemy team, they started with 3 amazing picks, and then they picked 2 awful picks to round out their draft. Neither hero. So this guy's saying Tyrael is shit. I'll explain why Tyrael is not shit, why it's in fact a really good pick. But I mean, Medivh, Leoric, both bring awful immortal damage. So they went from probably winning the immortal race to definitely losing it. And then they're also going to be worse at kind of team fighting. Like the Medivh is okay, I suppose, for vision, but they've gone for a really team fighting team then. And the Zagara and the Leoric really don't fit into that. So yeah, it's a little bit awkward. But anyway, why is the Tyrael a good pick? Well, the Tyrael is a great pick because the enemy team was probably looking at picking up Tyrael. That's what I was considering. They've got the Uther, they've got the Greymane with Zagara as well. It's like, throw Tyrael on top of that. I mean, it's the the big invulnerability combo, the let Greymane go ham combo. It's the Tyrael Uther, double invulnerabilities. Can't stop the Greymane, can't kill him, and he's just going to destroy your team. Really powerful team fight. And obviously Tyrael's just going to be nice for being sort of defense for any Immortals as well. So they were definitely looking at him as probably the ideal warrior for them to pick with Muradin and ETC gone. So I denied them that pick by picking it up. It's also good for us. Our teammate there, Lucius, too, was saying that, well, Tyrael is... we don't have dive heroes, so Tyrael's shit. It's not the case at all. He's certainly very good with dive heroes. He's also good against dive, which is what the enemy team is sort of trying to do. I mean, look, they try to set up something with the Maw, or with whatever heroic Medivh picks up, or with probably Entomb for Leoric. Greymane tries to dive in. Hey, suddenly I've got Sank, and Sank is a whole ton of anti-dive. Really going to protect our teammates, such as Sergeant Hammer, who's going to be, let's say, somewhat vulnerable. Also, Oriel going to be somewhat vulnerable. Also worth noting that Tyrael and Oriel do combo together very nicely. Again, Oriel is somewhat vulnerable because she's got no mobility. So Tyrael can help protect her from that, which is pretty nice. And yeah, then like people can kind of clump up a bit in the Sanctification, which also helps her heals get more value. So that's pretty damn good. Picked up Even in Death in this particular game. I don't know, you go for that or the shielding one in Death either. Because we're on Battlefield of Eternity, there's almost no regen globes, so there's no point picking up the regen master, though that's normally what I'd like to take. I was also kind of looking at my other talents, just trying to figure out what I would pick up here. It's getting a bit of a refresher for myself on the talent picks. Tryharding, what can I say? Anyway, we're split 4 and 1. This is the right thing to do. Doesn't really matter which lanes you go to, in my opinion. But we sent Thrall up top, that's fine. Thrall can solo lane. We can rotate around to help him if we need to. But this is the ideal thing to do. You need a minimum of 1 hero in each lane to get the soak. And then apart from that, you're going to be fine. You see I'm using my W in the minion wave, just helping to push it a tiny little bit. And just to shield myself from the Greymane poke, because he was above me. And there you go, the enemy is actually looking to be fairly aggressive here. I'm going to grab that regen globe for our teammates. I'm going to come in then on top of the Medivh. Li Ming gets some nice return damage. And there you go. Pretty close lane so far here. We can see up top it's Leoric versus Thrall. There's not much going to happen in that lane. Neither will kill the other one. They're just both going to farm it up, and it's going to be pretty uneventful. I'm starting to clear some creep. Do take a bit of damage as I pop the shield. Greymane coming in, getting a lot of value. Nice synergies, actually, to be fair, between the Greymane and the Medivh. So that pick definitely working out for them. At least so far. And there you go. We're just going to push him back in this lane. Did tap the well. Get a bit of healing. I'm going to return to clearing out some of that creep. Oriel's going to clear the creep as well. That's pretty fantastic. We're just trying to make sure that Sergeant Hammer can't, or not Sergeant Hammer, that there's a Gara can't establish like a really strong like vision presence and just mobility presence by having that creep set up all over the place. The more we can shut that down, the better things will be for us. Anyway, starting to rotate towards this first Immortal right here. It's kind of lurking. I'm not in a rush to get there myself because my damage against it's pretty bad. I'm mostly just here to support my teammates and help them out. Thrall is a bit slow coming down here. Anyway, there's no real point, again, for me being there, so I'm just going to stay with the team. Again, we knew most of the enemy team was down bottom, our team is coming from bottom, everyone's coming up from bottom, so I'm just going to lurk, basically, around our Immortal. Just try to zone the enemy team off, just make their life miserable, make it so that they can't get damage down on ours very easily. Our team's actually going to rotate down 3 more people to try help us out. I'm going to go in ham right here. Unfortunately, Medivh does have his shield. So there you go. I was trying to dive in and kill him. As you can see, he escapes with about like 1 hit point, unfortunately. And then the freaking shield comes in and saves the Zagara as well. I was disgusted. I was disgusted. Nice little juke by the Greymane, but he does die eventually. Sergeant Hammer has been all this time just AFK blasting away at that Immortal. And that's pretty good. So we do slightly win the race right here by 500 hit points. And there you go. Sergeant Hammer should really have like unsieged and resieged right there while the Immortal is switching. She's going to be stuck in a stun now. Well, she might dodge. Oh no, she's not. Okay, she's going to eat that one. She'll dodge the next one, probably. Yeah, she does. Alright, good. And there you go. We do win the final Immortal race by 2,000 hit points. Thank you very much for picking Leoric, LOL, and Medivh, LOL. You can't win the race. That's very nice. It takes so much pressure off your team if you're the team that can just run to the Immortal and win. Because then it makes the other team have to do something proactive, something more difficult strategically. So that's nice. Anyway, as you can see, really nice. This is a great team, by the way. It's a really high level game overall, and I mean, it shows. It's like just instantly we got 4 people pushing with the thing. Thrall's gone down to solo lane. Nice. Zagara is solo laning against him. That's fine. They're just going to duke it out. And that's great. And we're going to push in here. Sergeant Hammer getting value alongside that Immortal. Fantastic. Awesome. Wonderful. Li Ming actually poking and doing a lot of damage. Actually going to go in kind of hard right here. And there we go. We pick up the kill on the Leoric. He'd already used his Wraith Walk, I believe. Okay, I'm kind of pushing in aggressively. Trying to get rid of this Greymane. Just minimizing what sort of poke he can do. They're actually going in with the Medivh portals though. But Medivh gets knocked back and actually blown up. Rest in pieces, Medivh. I think being a bit too aggressive, underestimating the knockback from Sergeant Hammer, and most importantly the knockback into stun from the Oriel as well. See, it's kind of going a bit aggressive with my teammates there, but I've run out of, well, half health, and I've totally run out of mana. So, really no need to kind of push the issue down there. I'm going to come down here. You can see Thrall, he's just sitting in the bush, he don't even care. I'm going to pick up Reciprocate here at level 7. Level 4, I think I picked up Amp Healing, just to help get a bit more, well, healing. But yeah, Thrall's just sitting in the bush. He's not up to too much, really. But he has a tough time, obviously, as you can see, clearing out this creep. Because he can only use his wolves, and it's a pretty long cooldown. So I'm going to come down here, help him out, deal with that. He's actually just going to rotate away, and that's fine. Okay, he's actually going to send. He's calling for Sergeant Hammer to go down. That's okay. I was hoping my Q would actually finish it off in one hit. It doesn't. So there you go. And as you can see, like, I really don't care about Zagara. I know the rest of the teammates aren't here, so it's like she can't really do that much to me overall. Now she's burned a few of her spells, so I'm just gonna run away from that. There's no need for me to stay here and try to soak up like Infest damage and Hydralisk damage and yada yada yada. Kind of hoping she'd overextend right here. You can see our teammates are coming down, and she does. I'm gonna Q in behind her, get that slowdown on her, throw down the damage as well. Shield's absorbing what damage she does. Grab the regen globe too, just for the lols. And there you go. Nice kill, nice rotation by the team. And yeah, really nicely done. So Thrall is picking the Bruiser Camp. You do ideally want to grab that Bruiser Camp before the second Immortal spawns. As you can see, the enemy team has that timing down. Like I said, pretty high quality game. We went for the rotation to kill on the Zagara instead. It does make actually the start of the Immortal phase somewhat difficult, because now we got to deal with this Bruiser Camp down bottom. If we leave it here, it will do a ton of damage to this fort. Which leaves the enemy team kind of free. Obviously, Zagara's respawned quite a while ago just to rotate around. Now, I did notice that the enemy team had all backed off, so I came up here just to make sure they weren't going to gank the Thrall Li Ming, who are somewhat vulnerable attacking the enemy Immortal. But even just between the two of them, they're able to put out more than enough damage to win that race quite handily. You see I'm positioning kind of aggressively here once again. Not really in too much worry. And again, the Medivh gets picked off. Very nice moves by the team right there. Greymane goes pretty deep. Nice cleanse actually coming out on him, but he's gone very low. He's going to fall, I think. Yes, he does go down. Nicely done. Going to give a little bit of speed boost to Thrall right here. And just zoning out that Zagara as well, getting a bit of vision. Going to clear out her stuff with a creep. Actually just throwing down the Q and then like positioning a bit aggressively. Trying to bait her in a little bit. We had Li Ming there too. And then juking out with the Q. That's fine. That's fine. That's fantastic. Just going to work around here. Sergeant Hammer does eat a few of those Banelings, but my shield, my W, does protect her from that. Again, the material pick not being useless. What a surprise. And there you go. A very nicely shielded Immortal. And this is going to be pretty great for us. Once again, you can see the split. All 4 of us coming down here. Thrall, I'm not sure if he's going to go top or come with. Doesn't matter too much now. We're level 10. We're hugely ahead. We could honestly just push this really, really hard. Looks like that's what he's going to do. He sees that Leoric is pushing. I'm watching the minimap here at the moment. You see that Leoric is pushing in kind of hard, so Thrall decides to go and deal with that. I think it's an interesting choice. I think if Leoric didn't come down, if the enemy team didn't send anyone top, we could actually just push in as 5. Either works, really, honestly. As you can see, they're doing a lot of damage. Going to queue in here. Tons of damage coming down. And Zagara just gets exploded between myself doing some damage and the Li Ming throwing in the poke as well. They were being a bit overzealous, a bit cocky, I feel. Like, they were doing a pretty good job in getting that Immortal down, but just slightly extended a bit too far, and Zagara does just barely get picked off. So, pretty nice moves there. And here we go. Pushing in here. Thrall just farming up that top lane as well. We've got a 2-level lead. We're level 11, almost level 12. We're going to hit level 12 before the enemy team hits level 10. It's pretty brutal so far. Pretty brutal. I'm going to pick up Sanctification as well. Haven't needed to use it yet, though. There you go, the keep goes down. Mortal's almost dead. And yeah, at this point I'm calling for a retreat. Nothing really to stay here for anymore. We've got the structures we want to get. Don't really care about the tower. Don't have enough power to push to the core. At this point it's just like back off, heal up, take merc camps. keep soaking, win the next immortal, because we're going to have a talent advantage once again. And yes, talent, and probably a talent plus 3 level lead. See, I actually misplaced that key right there. I think Sergeant Hammer had cleared out the creep already, got a bit confused. Thrall is just going ham. Thrall don't give no fucks. Now the enemy team does hit level 10 just there. That's what I'm watching as well. You can see they're throwing out some of their heroics. I'm actually going to throw down Sanctification, seeing those heroics come down. Divine Shield, the Entomb coming down. The Medivh, Leyline Seal actually from Medivh was coming down as well, but they didn't get much done. It was kind of like, I threw out that Sanctification just because I was unsure more than anything else. Like, I didn't know exactly what the enemy team was going to do. It was just we were lacking vision. They just hit level 10. We saw like a couple of their heroics coming out, and I just went, okay, I'm just going to throw down Sanctification. It's like they might be throwing more stuff on top of us. I don't know. Maybe it's a waste of a Sanctification, but better safe than sorry in that sort of situation. It looks like it's going to be a pretty big fight. Let's throw it down. And I don't know, like maybe it blocked a bunch of stuff, maybe it didn't really achieve too much. Hard to say, really, but better safe than sorry in that sort of situation with no vision and craziness. And there you go. It's going to be up for the next objective anyway, so not a big deal. I was sort of talking about grabbing that bruiser before the immortal spawn. There you go, boom, nice timing. As soon as we pick it up, immortal spawning 15 seconds. Happy days. The enemy team might be doing their bruisers. I'm going to rotate in here kind of aggressively. I see Leoric and Medivh are up top, so I'm able to do this. It turns out they're not actually there. But yeah, like as Tyrael, I can certainly go in. I can just Elder Ones over the wall. Not in any real danger at any point. So I can certainly do that. Greymane actually going in pretty damn hard here on the hammer. He knows he's got his teammates backing him up. We do a big ton of damage to him with that reciprocate damage, as well as our teammates backing us up. I'm being a little bit cautious here. The Divine Shield actually comes out. Unfortunately, that does block what Thrall is trying to do. I'm going to queue across here as well. Actually, Thrall's going to be just fine, looks like. Going to give Thrall a bit of a speed boost while also clearing out the creep, getting a lot of value right there. Thrall picks up the cigar. I love this Thrall. He is so aggressive. He's like, we're winning. We're winning. I'm going hard, guys. Now, we did back off there a little bit, but a little bit of miscommunication. Sort of like I was going ham, and Thrall at that point said, that's enough ham for me. That's enough ham in my sandwich. I'm backing off. I'm going to, well, actually do something that is still ham. Got to steal their bruiser camp. We'll see how this works out. I think they do invade. Yeah. They're coming in here. Throw in a Sanctification. I'm just going to stall them out and then just queue over the wall. Just going to waste their time a little bit. They actually come after me pretty hard right here. Greymane going really hard. Li Ming has arrived. You can see I'm staying pretty much as close to the fight as possible without actually dying. That's kind of my goal here. It's like I could just Hearthstone at this point, but like there's things I could do that bring value. Like I can throw out some shields for my team. I can throw out speed boost for everyone. I can throw out the Q, which will slow them down. So I'm going to dive in here, instantly backing up then, knowing that I have enough health to survive. Now the Oriel thing actually came out, or Crystal Aegis actually came out, because she thought I might die. I think I was actually just fine. I calculated it just right, so that even though Greymane dived on top of me, he did die. He didn't have enough damage to kill me before he died. Zagara didn't either, so I think it was pretty well calculated, but that's like a really important thing. It's a pretty advanced tactic, I suppose. You have to have a really good feel for the game in order to do stuff like that. Like going in when you've basically got no health, because you know that, like, even though you're like one hit away from dying, that the enemy team doesn't have that one hit that it takes in order to finish you off. I mean, it can be an easy thing at times to misjudge as well, so you need to be careful. Certainly it's the sort of thing that could go horribly wrong, that you could just like feed for no reason. But yeah, like I knew, sort of looking at the situation, I was like, yeah, our team's got this under control. Enemy team is in full flight. It's like, if they commit to killing me, they're all gonna die. It's like more than worthwhile. I mean, I'm going a little bit aggressive here. The enemy team is pretty out of position. Fortunately, we're not really able to make much happen. As you can see, we're actually 2 talent tiers up for a brief period right here. Level 16, level 12. They have hit level 13 right now, though. But yeah, we're on the core. Don't really feel like we have enough to finish it, though. It's still relatively early in the game to be pushing in without the Immortal. And I mean, I honestly felt like we don't want to risk much against what the enemy team can do. I mean, they still have a pretty decent team fight. So I was kind of feeling like, better safe than sorry. We can just back it off. I mean, 2 keeps down. It's like the game is basically won at this point. It's not too scary. Throwing down a speed boost once again for the Thrall, helping him to get out. There you go. I'm obviously keeping an eye on Sanctification all the while during this. Not too worried, really. So the enemy team does engage. I do decide to use the Sanctification here. Maybe could have used my Eldrin's Might instead. That was a nice Crystal Aegis now from Oriel. That one was real good. Helping to keep me alive. Perhaps I should have used the Q first instead of the Sank. I kind of threw down the Sank thinking we might have like a bit of a counter engage. In the end, we didn't. It's not a big deal. Gonna throw down the Q just for a little bit of zoning. Don't know if I'll even activate it again. No, I won't. Thrall! Thrall is no fear, man. Look at this. Whoa, look, what a beast, man. What an absolute beast. Like, I really enjoyed this game. It was like, our team just played really, really well. We had a really nice draft. And the enemy team really screwed up picking Medieval Leoric. They basically made this game almost impossible for themselves to win. But then it was just very enjoyable to play. Like a nice team. There's people like playing the map properly, like playing it really well, just rotating well without having to be like babysat and told what to do. Very nice experience. And there you go, Sergeant Hammer sitting up with that graduating range. She's like, I could shoot all of the places. All the places. I'm just gonna kind of like zone people out, harass them a little bit. The enemy team is gonna be pushing in down bottom. So I'm gonna just zone them out with the Q. Look at that, beautiful holy ground. They can't get through. They're just spazzing out there. So there you go, nicely done. We get that immortal secured. Pretty nice, pretty nice. And they said Tyrael was a bad pick. Tut tut tut. There you go, another zoning Q. It's like, yeah, you could try kill Hammer. Can't get to her though. Nuh-uh, holy ground on the way. Doing some damage to this immortal. I mean, Hammer's just gonna kill it. They can't get on top of her. They're still a talent tier down, so pretty nice for us. Gonna queue over there, another little zoning thing. Actually, our teammates pick up, I don't even know exactly what happened there, but they picked up a double kill by themselves. That's pretty nice. Greymane, I think, was either like chatting to his teammates or something. He was not paying attention, so I just solo him out. I think Thrall actually, bastard, kill stole that with a lightning. That's so cruel. What a jerk. But anyway, yeah, we're pushing in now. Now, this is game. We don't even need the immortal at this point. Now we've got the strength to just go core right here. Beaming finishes off that creep tumor. Nicely done. There you go, we're on the core. The core's down at 30%, turning down the sanctification just to ensure that core push. Nothing can possibly go wrong, but there's really nothing the enemy team can do. That is GG. And a very, very successful first game. Good players on both sides, nice rotations and stuff, but the enemy team messed up the draft. Our team played better, with a much better team composition, and that's what happens when that happens. You get a huge lead, and you just crush the game, and there's nothing they can really do. We're giving enough vote to Sergeant Hammer. She did pretty well. Honestly, I kind of thought like I would have put like my biased, like would have put myself there as well, or the Thrall. Like Thrall didn't make that end screen, and Thrall played pretty beastly. I mean, I don't know that Sergeant Hammer played that well. She just played well because her team comps were so much better. Whereas I felt that Thrall really played a great Thrall, and he kind of deserved to be on that MVP screen, but he wasn't. So, sad face, but I'm giving him a shout out in a YouTube video, and that's better than being on the MVP screen. It's better. Anyway, there you go. There's the stats. We soaked it, and we did okay. I don't know, like our stats aren't too impressive, but we did our job right, so that's the main thing. Even in death, only use it once. Amplified healing, reciprocate, sanctification, imposing will, slow down their attack speed, because they got a lot of it, and holy ground. You saw the usefulness of that. And there you go, guys. That was game 1 of Hero League. 1 down, 1-1. Pretty good. I'm going to have the second one coming up tomorrow, and yeah, it was fun, you know. First game I get to pick what I think is the best warrior in the game right now, so pretty happy with that. Can't complain too much. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Give a like if you did, and also give me some feedback too if you want. You know, what you want to see in this Hero League series. Basically my goal, at least initially, is to make this like the super analytical thing, like really breaking down the drafts, breaking down like the broader strategy of the game, and doing a little bit on the heroes as well, but not focusing on it too much. And then obviously, you know, if people want to see talent picks in the game, it's not something I can do, right? Because it's ranked and I need to play ranked as best I can. I don't have time to stop and show people talent picks and stuff. Like sometimes you need to pick them up mid-fight and stuff like that, or quickly, because there's stuff happening very quickly on the map. But yeah, nice game. Really good game to start. Fortunate for the enemy team. Yeah, stay tuned for some of these games. I've recorded a couple more so far, and I can tell you that in one of these games, exactly the same thing happens, except I'm on the other side that time, and our team messes up the draft, so I'm going to have a good rant about that. You can look forward to that one, and be very salty. It's going to be great. Anyway, I will see you all next time for more Heroes of the Storm. Bye-bye.